So the Darley Flight Stakes today, ironically and fittingly won by Darley Stallion, getting his first Group 1 winner in Kermadec, who was a Doncaster star, and Montefilia is the girl in question. Huey Bowman absolutely wrapped his 97th Group 1, his 5th in a Flight Stakes. Just got over the top of Hungry Heart and Dame Giselle back in 4th placing. So the Darley Flight to Montefilia, to David Payne on the left. What a great trainer he's been, out of South Africa into Australia. And Huey Bowman, a legend for sure. Off we go back to Ben for the market, the hot horse. Ben, not only this race, but just the repercussions from an Everest point of view. I mean, Nature Strip's been favoured all the way through. This is going to be telling, isn't it?
Absolutely. We saw a change, a big shift when Guitra proved too strong for Nature Strip last time out. A second failure here, and that would certainly lead to a change in the market from an Everest perspective. Classic Legend's been crunched here. It's the hot horse, $3.20 into $2.50. In terms of hold, 47% versus 37% for Nature Strip. So the punters have decided the breeze may be playing a factor, but Classic Legend best backed.
Well, what, an hour and a half or so we've got ahead here on 7 Racing, and we head back to Richo there at Flemington, and the Turnbull coming up there next as well.
Yeah, that's right, and the wind certainly being a big factor today. The track's nice and firm. Wasn't it a sensational win from Persan? Steel Prince covered a lot of extra ground. He'll be going towards Alexis, you can imagine. Hey, looking forward towards the Turnbull. This is going to be a beauty of a race. And keep in mind also, Huey Bowman, he's got to jump in the car tonight. He's got to make his way down to Melbourne and then quarantine to get ready for Caulfield Guineas Day. And he'll do it with another Group 1 in the kit bag. What an extraordinary jockey. A boil over there. Will we see a boil over here in the Turnbull Stakes? We've got Very Elegant as the favourite. There's a little whisper around that King of Leogrance could be a huge improver today.
Thanks, Richo. Well, Katie, how worried are you about this headwind for Nature Strip?
It is a little bit concerning, but the only thing I can remember is on the TJ, when he won the TJ Smith, it was howling that day too, and everyone put the slows on him, but he just relished it and he won the TJ with a leg in the air. But look, I am with Classic Legend, but my heart's with Nature Strip. I want to see him win today.
Bruce?
I think Nature Strip will win. I think he'll get a pretty easy lead. Classic Legend's best chance if there's pressure on Nature Strip. They're two fabulous horses, Jared. Can't wait.
Here's Darren Flindell.
And Stand Out moving up to the outside gate will be the last to move forward. For the Premier Stakes, Nature Strip the favourite, drawn the fire, the light on, and we're all set. Quaddy about to kick off. Waiting for the all clear. Gates are back, they're off. Nature Strip's jumped out about midfield, starting to master. Stand Out began very quickly, wide out. Nature Strip goes forward together with Fasika, then Libertini. Classic Legend caught 3 out early. Then a gap to Lord Von Costa, followed by Sonore Fox, and Deprive is last. It's Stand Out up on the outside at Nature Strip. Nature Strip pulls his way to the front now by a half length on Stand Out, followed by Fasika on the inside of Libertini. He hasn't got any cover today, Classic Legend at the 600 and improves his position. They're followed then by Sonore Fox, Lord Van Costa, and Deprive's last of all. So Nature Strip's taken control of the race now by a length and a half to Stand Out. Classic Legend moving into a clear third, followed by Fasika and Libertini's right behind the grey at the 300, and Nature Strip being tackled by Classic Legend, and Libertini's creeping into it. Nature Strip's gone now. Classic Legend and Libertini, they'll fight it out, and Libertini went past the grey. Libertini got a half length, now a length in front. What a great return to racing, Libertini. Off to the Everest, someone will pick you up now. Classic Legend second, Photo third, Deprive and Nature Strip. Good gap back to Fasika, Stand Out, Sonore Fox and Lord Van Costa.
Well, the Everest has just been turned on its head. What a performance by Libertini. She loves good tracks. That's 5 from 5 on good tracks. She tried like a bomb, and what a performance. The Everest has just been turned on its head, Katie.
Oh, she certainly gets a slot after that, doesn't she, Jared? She's brilliant, isn't she? And she loves attacking the line. And look at her pin her ears back then. No concern pre-race. She's got one of those choppy little actions, choppy little walks. She's a real sprinter, and she deserves a place in the Everest.
Oh, Bruce, so many storylines out of this. All credit to the winner, but Nature Strip, I wonder what the excuses will be.
Well, I don't think he's got too many, to be honest, Jared. He didn't jump brilliantly, but James settled him well enough, I think. A wonderful run. I mean, it's the Tab Everest, and the Tab went with him early. Libertini's in the race if she wants. Look, it's about the winner, but it's also about Nature Strip, because he's been favourite, Jared, from the absolute beginning of it all. He's been turned over twice now. On that, he couldn't possibly win the Everest, and I'm not sure whether they'll go on with him into the Everest, but Libertini's on her way. And Classique Legend, well, I think it's a pass mark. I think he'll be better with cover in a bigger field.
No doubt about that with Classique Legend. Why no cover? Certainly a great run considering.
Yes, exactly. And had to do a bit of work mid-race. He found himself nearly hitting the front close to the 400. So, look, Classique Legend was brilliant in defeat. Nature Strip, not too many excuses. I just think that the way that he's fidgeting around in the barriers, he never used to do that when he was on song. So maybe he does have a little issue there. I'm not too sure. But Chris Waller will have to go back to the drawing board on Nature Strip.
8 Libertini from 2 Classique Legend, 3 Deprive and 1 Nature Strip for the Premier Stakes. Coming up next on 7 Racing, it's Group 1 action from Flemington with the Turnbull Stakes.
Commentating long hours, is it nice to be here, being glammed up, having a glass of bubbles?
Short answer, yes, of course. Absolutely, obviously love what I do and love working on the cricket. So much fun. The wardrobe's a little bit different, and obviously you're not sitting around and enjoying a day like this. It's so much fun, and it's nice to get out because I think we're sort of slowly starting to do that a bit more. But the races are back. It's cool.
The races are back, the horses are racing. I'm sure I've seen you putting a few bets on, but I think you might also have your eye on the women's versus the Kiwis. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, it's great to see international cricket back in Australia. And the Aussie women, they won the T20 series in Queensland against the Kiwis, 2-1, and now they're into the one-day series. So hopefully they just continue to dominate as they have done so well.
Well, surely this mare by I Am Invincible, Libertini, has booked a spot in the Everest. We'll wait to see what the 2 remaining slot holders do. A sensational performance. Let's hear from her trainer, Anthony Cummings.
Anthony Cummings was confident before the race, but you also said that there's improvement to come and she's a week behind.
Yeah, as well as she's done today, I'm still sure that's right. Pretty exciting today. With a bit of luck, the phone might ring sometime soon. Gerald will be impressed enough, and the horse has done all the impressing for us.
Well, there's 2 slots left. Chris Waller's got 1. James Harron's got the other. Who's going to ring first?
The Kiwis always ring first.
We were talking about her last year. She was a 3-year-old filly. She was very fast. She was very good. What's different now?
She is now a more mature article altogether. And the last preparation wasn't that flash, and she had a few issues came out of that. Gave her the time, and the time nearly beat us this time. So really pleased to see her back to that good form, that right form, and shows the horse that she is. And now looking forward to certainly 2 weeks, but probably the next 2 years.
Have you not rushed her purposely this time around?
No, I think we were fairly strict about the time that she had to have before she could come back, just to be sure. The last thing anyone wanted to come back and have a repeat of whatever it might have been last time, and time is the only thing that makes all of that certain. So she got that, and she's returned in the shape that we know she's capable of.
Right, is that phone on?
It's rattling in my pocket.
Okay, answer it. Good on you. Well done, Anthony.
He's always got a very even temperament, Anthony Cummings, but he must be pretty excited after what he just saw there with his mare Libertini. Well, take a break here at Randwick and we look towards a Group 1, the Turnbull Stakes at Flemington. And Cardi, you've had a look at some of the main contenders.
A star-studded field of Group 1 winners has been assembled for the Turnbull Stakes. But can anyone spoil the Chris Waller party? Despite failing to fire in the George Main Stakes, Very Elegant is the headline act and has a strong record at 2,000 metres. The big striding Finch is well suited to Flemington and came close in last year's Turnbull when second behind stablemate Kingswool Dream.
Kingswool Dream holding on. Kingswool Dream on the Turnbull. Beat French Hardwell.
But last year's Fairy Tale winner will need to improve after a 10th in the Makybe Diva behind Rushing Camelot. In fourth place was Master of Wine, who has twice been a winner at the distance.
Is there anything you can't do, Master of Wine? Very promising star and a dominant win today.
Surprise Baby comes with big raps and is capable of producing a booming finish.
Surprise Baby under Geordie Charles is pulling clear, and he is our hope in the cup.
Both the Derby winner Warning and the Cup winner Vow and Declare have a great affinity with Flemington. While Danny O'Brien is set to unveil a merging stayer, King of Leogrants, for the first time this spring, who will put their hand up and be counted as a major player.
Well, I guess we're still waiting to see who's going to be our next weight for age star, Katie, and perhaps it comes out of the Turnbull today. And as we bring in Henry's Wild, let's have a look at Surprise Baby, a track gallop at Horsham the other day. And Henry, when you look at Surprise Baby, what, a 6-year-old by a shock, he still only had the 12 starts, the best probably yet to come.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that, Jared. He's a slow-maturing son of Shocking, and he's been beautifully handled by Paul Pushka. Great footage this, isn't it, with Craig Williams on the back of Surprise Baby at Horsham Racecourse. I think I heard earlier in the video they galloped 3 laps of the track there, and they just sprinted home the last sort of 1400, and he just had a lovely bunny there to sort of have something to focus on and chase, and he's a beautiful, relaxed horse. You saw him sweeping past the workmate there, and it looked a nice piece of work for mine.
Yeah, I love that vision. Let's now go to trackside with Jason Richardson, who's speaking with one of the key jockeys, Jamie Carr.
Melbourne's leading rider, Jamie Carr, joins us. Looking forward to the Turnbull Stakes on Dallasan, Jamie.
Yeah, looking forward to it. He ran really well last start, and he's drawn a super gate. He can be on and off sometimes, but look, Leon's really happy with him. He said Jason galloped him, and for the first time ever, he was perfectly straight in the gallop. So hopefully he's finally grown up.
That's why they've got your soft hands to get the absolute best out of him. He can be a quirky horse.
He can be. He can be quite frustrating at times because he's got so much ability and talent, but it's just whether he wants to go straight and use it.
At 2,000 metres, I think that's his best trip. Is that fair?
Yeah, look, he surprised me. When I first rode him, I thought he might not get the trip, but look, he's been running super at it. I think if you can ride him just handy over 2,000 metres, that's probably his best way to go.
I think everyone was so excited about the announcement of Jamie Carr as the new rider for Prince of Arran for the Cups. Congratulations.
Yeah, really exciting. We've been speaking to Charlie the last week or so, and look, absolutely rapt to be able to get on him in the Cups. I had a few other sort of offers for internationals, but look, he's proven, he comes across, and every year he runs super, so I'm really, really excited. And
Charlie said in the media, he spoke to Jamie Carr, and I was really impressed with that young lady. What did you say?
I don't know, I was picking up the horse yards, and I was don't know, we were just having a chat. He was in the car, and it was quite hard with the delayed, in his accent, it was quite hard to understand, but no, we had a bit of a laugh, and he's a great guy. It's the first time I've spoken to him, so no, he said I can come up and have a jump on him and ride him around, but he wants to keep his work rider to do the gallop, so yeah, no, it seems pretty easy for me at the minute.
Oh, huge opportunity. Congratulations and good luck with Dallasan.
Thank you.
Just have a feeling, Katie, by the end of her career, she probably be our greatest female jockey ever, Jamie Carr. She's a star.
I think so too, Jared. She's going so well. Let's look at a speed map for the Turnbull. Finch will come across from that outside barrier, and Django Freeman, he can kick up. I think Harlem, he'll be a little bit more forward. And look, other than that, there's a lot of horses like Very Elegant. It's very important to try and find a spot with her and switch her off. But she is capable of going forward, but you just want to, there's a fine line. You don't want to upset her and send her forward too much where she doesn't relax. Surprise Baby will be back, and he will need luck.
Oh, he certainly will. Let's go into the yard for the Turnbull Stakes.
And Henry, this is where he launched last year, wasn't it, Vow and Declare?
Yeah, he's a tremendous stayer, isn't he, Bruce? And went to the Melbourne Cup and made a mess of him there. He was good through the line last time in the Makybe Diva. His last 200 was good. He's got a good record at 2,000 here too. I reckon at a relative fitness level last prep he sort of ran a good third in the Australian Cup. So Craig Williams jumps off to ride Surprise Baby, and Damien on, so loses nothing there. Bruce, last year's winner, Kingswell Dream.
Well, the filly that won it the year before won it twice, Wings. But look, we admire him greatly, don't we? It was great to see him get that win last year in the Turnbull Stakes. He'll run well because he's a good horse. He's an honest horse. He's overcome a serious injury. He's very brave. Guy McNeil won on him last year. He's had a good day already. So, no, not without some sort of a chance. The X Factor, Henry.
Yeah, well, the race shape just didn't suit him at all in the Fee and Bruce. He sort of was back and wide and making a run from the 1,000. We saw Humidor sneaking up and picking the gaps while this horse was working the whole way. And I think if you swap the runs, he probably beats Humidor, and we saw Humidor then go on and not far off Russian Camelot in the Underwood. So, look, he's an X Factor, as you said, and he's trending the right way towards the Melbourne Cup. Bruce, the VRC Derby winner, warning.
And won the Superimpose, Henry, on this day, sort of got him to the Derby. So he's a terrific Flemington horse. I think he's going well, to be honest. I thought his run in the Diva was good. He was 90-1. He was beaten, 3 lengths? But I just don't think he can win this race. But I do think he's in for a pretty good spring. He clashed with Delasound in Adelaide a couple of times and came off the worst. Here is Delasound. We heard Jamie talking to Richo a moment ago. He's a very, very good galloper. We know that. He ran second to Russian Camelot in that now famous Derby in South Australia. It's probably a good distance for him, a beautiful draw, and he's going to get a good run. I think he'll run well. Is the track too hard for Master of Wine? If it had been a soft track, I would have been all over him, Henry.
Yeah, well, always good form in the autumn was on the soft, wasn't it, Bruce? But, look, he was okay. And he was good in the Maccabi Diva grinding home, just looking like a horse that wants 2,000, and that was on a dry track. So hopefully he can continue the trend here. At their peaks in the autumn, there wasn't much difference between him and Very Elegant, admittedly both on wet tracks. But, look, I think he's sort of, if he can win this, he's definitely on track for a Caulfield Cup, but needs to win this, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, it's a day where everything changes. Richo's told us that there's a big lot of confidence about King of Leargrants. He's a very good fresh horse. He won the Adelaide Cup. What we've seen, he was in the Bart Cummings last year and ran 9th, so he's improved a lot, Henry. But what we've seen from him, this is a set weights and penalties. It's actually not a weight for age race, but it's still not a handicap, so I'm not so sure. But what about this girl?
Yeah, well, you mentioned the set weights and penalties, Bruce. She's treated beautifully with 55.5 kilos here, and that's about as light as Mark Zara rides too, so he's made the commitment to her for the Spring Carnival, and he'll follow it through. She was really good in the Winks, just mowing down Star of the Season, Fierce Impact late, and then a question mark last time in the George Main. I wanted to see her do more there, and maybe she's better on the wet, Bruce.
Jamie Mott's been really wasting to ride here. Harlem's going well. Now, he's won 2 Australian Cups over this trip at weight for age at Flemington. I think he's got a good each-way chance. He's come back well this prep. He's had a couple of good starts. He's a bit of a cage deceiver. He's hard to catch. We know that. He's been a big odds. Finch ran so well in this race last year. He was just beaten by Kingswell Dream off a Kingston Town win. This year he's come off at Chelmsford. He's been in 2 Melbourne Cups. He was favourite last year, wasn't beaten far, and he was 4th the year before. Django Freeman, I reckon Robert Hickman reckons he's got him just about right, Henry.
Yeah, well, the mail from Rob is that they thought he was underdone last time and he's significantly fitter, but he needs to be, Bruce. He hasn't missed a place in his 3 runs in Australia, but they've been in open handicaps, and look, he got beaten by the Chosen One last time. He came out and was uncompetitive in the Underwood. He drops a significant amount in weight, so that's the key, I think, here. And then we find ourselves with the Perth horse, Superstorm. He's a really, really quality horse and just steps right up in distance here from the 1400 of the Rupert Clark to the 2000 here. So that's a big step. But look, he's shown he can get sort of at least 1600 in the All-Star Mile in the Australian Guineas in the autumn. So he's another one, same as Very Elegant, right down in the weight, so 53.5.
And in the markers, so Finch, Surprise Baby and Super.
Jump on the PointsBet app right now to take advantage of our special for this race. It's $2 about Very Elegant to run in the top 5. She's currently $2 just to run in the top 3, so that's great value.
So Very Elegant, the favourite for the Turnbull, Richo. Just a query, I guess, that her best doesn't come on dry tracks, although she's so well weighted here.
Yeah, but this is really dry, Gerard. There's no doubting that. It's very firm. Some of the trainers saying it's nearly too firm. It'll suit Superstorm, no doubting that. Watch Finch to go forward, Superstorm to be hard to beat. And King of Leargrants has put on 30 kilos since we last saw him. He's become a beast. He's going to run a really nice race with Master of Wine with the eye towards the Cups. Great race.
Here's Matt Hill for the Turnbull.
Completed. The Group 1 Tab Turnbull. Finch takes the outside and they're locked away.
Set to gallop. Ready to run. Gates are back and they're racing at the 2,000 metres. King of Leogrand straight back to the end with Surprise Baby and Superstorm. Dalasan out well with Master of Wine, Toffee Tongue, King's Will Dream, Vow and Declare, Harlem. They're right across the track with Ocean X as they drive into that headwind. There's about 6 across the track. Master of Wine now snicks back on the outside of Toffee Tongue from Actow Finch. Back in the field then settling down is Warning, 2/3 down the field, Very Elegant. Then Surprise Baby, Superstorm and 2.5 King of Leogrance. So 1,400 metres to go and the mare took it up. Ocean X by a length and a quarter. Harlem. Dalasan third the inside, followed by Vow and Declare. 2 lengths away King's Will Dream, who covers up Toffee Tongue. Then came Actow. Next in the field past Chiquita Lodge at that stage is next Master of Wine, and also in that group of horses Django Freeman. Further back on the inside Warning and Finch, and then Very Elegant, Surprise Baby, Superstorm and King of Leogrance's last. So the leader Ocean X at the 1,000 metres kept them moving. It's an even speed by a length and a quarter. Harlem, Dalasan, then Vow and Declare. A length and a half Toffee Tongue. Next in the field out deeper Finch around King's Will Dream. Actow the inside pulling. Very Elegant getting moving. Followed by Master of Wine, who's going to try and track her from Superstorm, who's also starting to find a back to follow. Back in the field now Django Freeman as they really pack up around the turn from Surprise Baby, Warning and King of Leogrance's last as they clutter up. Ocean X at the 500 metres, the first to straighten from Harlem. They were followed by Finch presenting with Vow and Declare. Dalasan behind those. Toffee Tongue on the fence. Very Elegant with her chance down the middle. Then Master of Wine, King's Will Dream behind them. Still Ocean X at the 250, but a wall's coming. Finch, Very Elegant and Harlem and Toffee Tongue right up on the inside. It's Finch, Very Elegant and Toffee Tongue. Then Master of Wine, Superstorm. Finch, Very Elegant, Toffee Tongue. Dalasan between them. It's a head bob of the mare. The mare's got up, I think. Very Elegant maybe from Toffee Tongue. Dalasan or Finch, and then Warning and Eye Catcher from Harlem, King's Will Dream, Master of Wine in a great Turnbull. Then Harlem, Vow and Declare, Django Freeman. Ocean X was in it for a fair way. And then came Superstorm, Surprise Baby, King of Leogrance and Actow. She'll get up all right. Very Elegant, her 5th Group 1.
Outstanding performance from Very Elegant. Dry track, no worries. Another Group 1. Is she the next weight for age star on the Australian turf? A bit of a question mark after last start, but Bruce, she delivered today.
Great performance, terrific performance by Mark Zara too, because James McDonald's done such a brilliant job with this rather headstrong mare. There she is, 5 from the left. She had to show a whole lot of courage. But the big question now, Jared and Henry and Katie, is where does Chris go? Because she's so much a Caulfield Cup prospect. That's the way we thought she was going to go with 55 in the Caulfield Cup. Does he now think, no, I'm going to go to a Cox Plate? He's now won 5 of the last 6 of these, Chris Waller. He makes a habit of winning these, doesn't he? Henry, it's going to be a big question mark. There were some great runs, but none better than the winner.
Yeah, we saw those 3 white bridles emerging there in the last bit, just seeing another Waller trifecta, Bruce. But Ray Sokolsky was interviewed on the radio this morning in Melbourne on RSN, and he was adamant they were going to the Caulfield Cup. I just don't think she's a Moonee Valley horse. She's a big striding mare, and last time she got trapped and in a sort of sit-sprint race, she was held up and couldn't quicken with them. Mark Zara took that out of the equation today. He got wide from the 1,000-metre mark and just let her improve around the field. Just took luck out of the equation, took a sit-sprint scenario out of this equation, and she just used her big stride and her staying prowess to run over the top of him late. And I think the most important aspect of that was seeing how well Mark Zara got her to settle. He's just got a beautiful set of hands on him and gets those sort of horses into a real zone.
What a run by Toffee Tongue there, so tough, and almost pulled it off there. The winner, of course, of the Australasian Oaks, Bruce.
As a maiden, Jared, I mean, she'd been placed in the AJC Oaks, hadn't she, behind Colette? It was a superb run. Both Toffee Tongue and Dalasan made very good runs on the inside, and they looked in the mix. It was just, you can see them there. So Toffee Tongue on the right of screen, Michael D riding hard, Jamie Kahn on with Dalasan. They weren't far away. In fact, Toffee Tongue was nose away, as we know. I thought Finch was very good. He covered a lot of ground. He stuck on okay. Surprise Baby's wound up okay. Actow was in the mix, but Warning not too far away. But look, 5 Group 1s to this mare. She's joined Sandarana Lane as the most Group 1s by any horse in Australia at the moment. Of course, as you mentioned earlier, Melody Bell remarkably won her 11th Group 1 in New Zealand today. But I hope the Kiwis are not listening, Jared. This is the best middle distance mare in Australasia. She's better than anyone out of New Zealand right now, even though she came from there.
Yeah, fascinating to see where she goes next. Does she go to Moonee Valley for the Cox Plate, or does she stick on a Caulfield Melbourne Cups path? Very elegant winner of the Turnbull today. Now, Victorian viewers to